have your position. Shuttle incoming. Make your way to the evac site.
Farpoint is the much anticipated PSVR exclusive from developers Impulse Gear, who have also developed the aim controller that complements the game's release. Farpoint is PSVR's first true FPS, meaning no more standing in one spot or having to move around on rails. With that in mind, it built up quite a bit of hype, as PSVR owners have been pretty thirsty for a game like this, or E7 being the closest thing. I'd like to start this review by actually talking about the aim controller. Sure, you can play Farpoint using a DS4, but trust me when I say that the aim is the way to go for Farpoint. Farpoint was clearly designed around this unique controller. The most surprising thing to me about the aim is its weight. I expected it to feel light and cheap, but it has a satisfying weight and is smooth to hold. The controller has every single button you'll find on the DS4, even share and touchpad, cleverly placed so that you'll quickly get used to pressing them without having to look, and that's very important considering you won't be able to actually see the controller during play. I was relieved to find that the aim's rumble is much improved over the PS Move controller's meager vibrations. It packs a nice kick when you shoot that should leave you feeling satisfied. Even more relieving is the news that the aim will be supported by other VR titles, including Dick Wild and the hotly anticipated Arizona Sunshine. Hopefully, Sony will reveal more titles at E3, though right now I feel my purchase was justified. Now then, on to Farpoint itself. Let me get this out of the way. If Farpoint was on a normal 2D display, I would consider it a mediocre last-gen game. But Farpoint is not on a normal 2D display. You can only play this on PSVR, and that makes a world of difference. The visuals here will not compete with your standard AAA titles, but compared to other VR games, it's right up there with Resi 7. The gameplay, in one way, is nothing new, but in another way feels revolutionary thanks to the technology. Shooting some soldier in another annual Call of Duty on PS4 doesn't have 1% the satisfaction of shooting some alien bugs with an aim controller in VR. That controller stops feeling like a controller and starts to feel like whatever weapon you are wielding in Farpoint. And Farpoint does a good job of giving you a variety of enemies to shoot at. From small spiders that scurry around with speed, to monstrosities that spit acid at you, and even some more intelligent enemies later on. You should be kept on your toes here. The only time I didn't enjoy shooting was when the enemies were far away and too blurry to shoot with accuracy. Fortunately, that didn't happen too frequently, and I could always move closer for a clearer shot. I should also point out that Farpoint has various comfort settings for those who suffer from VR sickness. Personally, I had it set to smooth, with turn speed set all the way up to 11. I didn't feel sick once. Farpoint is a fairly short game. I finished the campaign in around 7 hours, but I felt like that was the right amount of time for the story that the game was telling me. As for the story, it felt like a mix between Interstellar and The Martian, and it felt unique. I thought it was successful in telling that story, right up until the very end, where I found it fell just a little bit short, with an ending that raised more questions than it answered. However, special mention should be given to the facial animation and acting on display here. After beating Farpoint, you're given access to a challenge mode, which takes you back through the single-player missions again, this time without any story stuff getting in the way, and with a focus on speed, multipliers, accuracy, and performance. However, the other mode, co-op, is the star of the show for me. Teaming up with another person to take on waves of enemies to try and reach the end of the level is a ton of fun, even with randomers. The sense of presence you get from playing online in VR is something that can't be matched on a 2D display, and that is true here in Farpoint 2. There are 4 maps and various difficulties for you and your friends to try and master. My final verdict is that Farpoint is a must-have for PSVR owners, though with the caveats that you should also really get the aim controller to complement your experience. Is Farpoint PSVR's killer app? Maybe not, but together with Worry 7, there are now two very compelling reasons to own a headset. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned to Petrifying Pumpkins for more VR gameplay, videos, and reviews.